Previously on Phoenix Wright's Spirit of Justice, y'all. Sorry to interrupt your little party, but I'm here for my crystal. It's that politician, isn't it? You're the one who shoved us into that pit. All I did was give you a little nudge in the right direction. He's the thief that made off with the Adishon family's most precious heirloom. If Dirk gets arrested, he'll be sent back to Karine to face execution. Please come with me, sir. Emma, I'm afraid I can't let you take Dirk in. He's my dad, and we just reconnected. And he received the orb from Dr. Buff in a perfectly legal transaction. Yes, he did. Not so fast. That's not the Founder's Orb. It's the Crystal of Ami Faye, which means their agreement is null and void. Then it will just have to go to trial. Mr. Wright, you made it back! What are you doing in Karine Village, Mr. Wright? Oh wow, look at this sprite. Have we seen this before? Hang on! What? Wait a minute! Huh? If you continue to claim that the crystal belongs to your client, what are you gonna do? Then I'll be seeing you in court. And now back to the present. May 17th, 10:08 a.m. Did you know that when a digital clock reads 10:08, it uses more power then than at any other time during the day? That's because that's when the most lights are lit up on it. Just so you know, I'm not going to take sides. Message received loud and clear. You probably shouldn't even be here. Oh my god, stop doing that. Good, because I don't like this one bit. You and Daddy should be on the same team. Sorry, Trucy. Wow, she's really mad. I mean, she has every right to be. This is like... she has two daddies and they're basically fighting. No, it's more like a daddy and a brother, but she doesn't know that yet. I'm sorry too, little lady. This is all my fault. Oh, I'm just worried things will never be the same between Daddy and Apollo. If they go through with this. I mean, it's not really personal, you know, it's just... Is that all? Well, I wouldn't worry about that. That's the way it is with us men. We may fight, but we don't burn bridges. Really? I don't believe you. Sure, one minute we're trading blows, the next we're hugging it out. Have you ever seen Fight Club? It's kind of like that. We're simple creatures at heart. I sure hope you're right. Me too, Trucy. Me too. Sorry I'm late, Apollo. How's it going? Athena, there you are. What happened with you and Mr. Wright yesterday? Oh, about that. I ended up going to the wrong airport. Oh, that's right. She was going to pick him up. That's right. I was waiting there thinking this flight was really late, and before I knew it, I dozed off. By the time I woke up, it was already dark. Figured something like that had happened. Being late and dozing off are the two things you do best. Oh, no! Oh my god. I just had a horrible feeling. What if somebody, like, gassed her so that they could get to him first? And that's why he's doing this, because it's like somebody told him something. Just another crackpot theory to throw out there, because I love doing them, and apparently some of you love hearing them, so guilty as charged. So then I take it you have no idea what today's case is about. Not a clue, sorry. Are you, like, gonna be up there with me? Because I could use your help. What is today's case about, if I might ask? Well, I can't wait to tell you, man. You are gonna love this one. You are gonna love this one. Another locked room mystery? A suspect with a flimsy alibi? Or a dying message? Sorry, strike three, you're out. It's a civil case. A civil case? You act like I'm speaking Swahili here. It's just the Wright Anything Agency specializes in criminal law, or so I thought. In civil cases, there are no prosecutors, right? Instead, both parties remain an attorney. Wright and the other attorney is someone you know very well. Really? Who? Oh my god, is it Edgeworth? No, it's not Edgeworth. Not yet, anyway. The trial begins shortly. Please proceed to the courtroom at once, dudes. Oh, he didn't tell her. Apollo, wait, who's the other attorney? And where is Mr. Wright? Well, you just answered your own question. Sweet cheeks. No time to explain, let's go. Okay, right behind you. Ooh, no. Just no. This is gonna look really weird if he's actually over there on the other side. So you wouldn't think that something like flipping an image, people do it all the time, you know. It doesn't look that weird, but when you spend like that many years of your life only seeing somebody from one angle, it's a little jarring, you know, to... Okay, I'm over there. Holy shit. Holy shit. Court is now in session. Oh, Oh. Is this some sort of practice session? A mock trial, perhaps? No, it's not, Your Honor. I can't believe this! Oh, he looks good over there, though. It's the real deal, Your Honor. Oh, so then you two have had a falling out. So I won't have you using my courtroom for that, you know. It's nothing like that, Your Honor. This is just... something's fucked up here. Exactly, it just so happens that we have different clients in this case. How? I can't believe I haven't seen this. I can't believe this did not get spoiled for me. That's like... I can't believe people didn't go crazy and there were memes about this all over Twitter for the first year after the game came out. I was on Twitter in 2016. I can't believe this. I cannot believe this! I know oh god, I'm sorry if it seems like I'm overreacting. I just can't believe this. I see Weller's hoping this has no adverse effect on your working relationship. You could say that again. I had no idea we'd be going up against the boss today. Oh, you sure this is a good idea, Apollo? No, I'm not. What, do you want to switch sides? Honestly, I'd rather be anywhere but here right now. What if... what if Phoenix and Edgeworth end up teaming up against us? Holy shit, wouldn't that be the bomb? Oh, man. Or at least she is here. I'm really gonna need her help. Phoenix, it's 2-on-1, you know? Are you sure you don't want some help over there? Mr. Justice? Yes? Don't talk to me that way. That's not funny, it never was. Don't expect me to pull any punches just because you're the opposing lawyer. Are you gonna get all sassy on me now? As I said, the kid gloves are off, and come what may, they'll stay off. Same here, Mr. Wright. Same here. If it's a fight you want, it's a fight you'll get. Man. I still feel like he doesn't believe that I can win this. That's what I think that he thinks, too. I mean, I love Phoenix as a character, don't get me wrong, but I think... It's not that I think he has an ego, but, like, it's kind of hard not to have an ego when you win every single case. I mean, it's not like you can just pretend that that's not real. The guy's a champion, and he knows it, and you can't blame him for that. But there's no way... I mean, he probably feels pretty much invincible over there. I'm not saying it means that he likes what he's doing right now. I don't think he wants to do this to me, but that's where we're at right now, so, you know, let the chips fall where they may. You guys are really chomping at the bit, aren't you? Yeah, I mean, how often do we get to do this, man? We've never had a mock trial before, so, you know, at least I don't think we have. We never, like, practiced against each other or anything. I don't mind a good fight between co-workers. Just keep this civil case civil. Sybil Shepherd. Now then, if the plaintiff would take the stand, we may begin. The plaintiff. Who is this jackass? Is he even here? What the... Oh, you can't bring that into the courtroom! Dude! Come out of your Trump mobile here for just 2 seconds. Noble judge, members of the gallery, good day to you, I am Paul Idishon. Oh, you must love the ad revenue you're getting from this one. This is but the start of my epic campaign, and you all have the honor of witnessing it. More like witnessing shit. I believe the youth of this country are our very future. Shut up, Whitney. You're not Whitney Houston either. Quit. Quit with that. Too long have they been looked down on and given the cold shoulder, so to them I say, ask not what you can do for your country, ask what you can do for me. Wow, Mr. Addison, what's that crazy contraption you're riding? It's called a cliche, Your Honor. It's my custom-made, election-winning campaign mobile, and I can't live without it! Beautiful, isn't it? You're at a witness stand, motherfucker, not a campaign podium, so come out of there this instant. Thank you. Thank you! I'm sorry if your feet don't like having weight put on them, but too bad. Yeah, that's right. Put some weight on those feet and sweat into those socks, man. Alright, now, would the plaintiff's attorney, Mr. Wright, please explain the complaint filed against the defendant. Mr. Adishon's complaint against the defendant is simple. The defendant... Jesus, he's doing all the shit, too. All the paper and the mannerisms. It's just so different when he's over there. The defendant, one Dirk Sadmati. God, oh man, is Nayuda gonna come over here and maybe testify or something? This is all, like... This case has turned into, like, a series of asteroids, and they're in a giant circle, and they're all headed towards one point in the center, and it's only a matter of time before they all just collide, and we get some... What do you call those bombs that a Jango Fett drops off in Attack of the Clones? It's one of those, basically. Anyway, he stole my client's family heirloom, the Crystal of Ami Faye. Mr. Adishon merely seeks its return. This wouldn't have happened if that archaeologist had not kicked the bucket! I see. Well, maybe you killed him to make it happen so that we could come to this point. Well, Mr. Justice, let's have your opening statement if you would. The defense asserts the item in question is the Founder's Orb, a sacred relic from Kurine. Go on. It seems someone asked an archaeologist, Dr. Archie Buff, to study the orb. Dr. Buff determined that it was a Kurinese national treasure known as the Founder's Orb. The very orb that was stolen from a treasure room in Kurine several weeks ago. Why yes, I saw a news report about that. The theft of a Kurinese national treasure caused quite an uproar in the kingdom. Well, we believe that it was not in fact a theft in the traditional sense, but rather that it was spirited out of Kurine by someone for Dr. Buff to study. Huh. That's weird. You don't say. And there's also running water. I hope that's not coming through on the mic, but if it is, what can you do? Around that time, an acquaintance of the defendant learned of Dr. Buff. He made contact with the doctor, who agreed to hand over the orb. Apparently the doctor wanted nothing to do with it once he learned it had been stolen. Seems you even have a transfer agreement between both parties. Mr. Sadmati also agreed to return the Founder's Orb to the Kingdom of Kurine, once the doctor verified it was the real thing. I see. So this dispute centers on whether the item in question is the Founder's Orb or the Crystal of Ami Faye. That in turn will determine the object's rightful owner. Better bring my A game. Going up against Mr. Wright won't be a walk in the park. I can say that again. Come to think of it, the name Dirk Sadmati sounds awfully familiar. Yeah, well, but I can't recall where I've heard it. Oh, it's probably your imagination, Your Honor. He's just a tourist, after all. My imagination, you say? Are you sure about this, Apollo? He's a wanted criminal in Kurine, isn't he? In Kurine, yes. Here, he's just a tourist. Well, oh boy. Very well, let's begin the proceedings. This is a hard place to be right now. Bailiff, would you bring in the first witness? We have a witness here. Who would that be? Hello! What is this all about? Oh, it's... Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't recognize your feet, Emma. Jeez. Wow, dude. Emma? Show some manners, we're in court. I'm sorry, it's just... This is a civil trial, so I was surprised to see a detective take the stand. I had her do some digging on Dr. Buff. What for? You disappoint me, Apollo. First, you know I'm not just a detective, I'm a forensic scientist. Do try to remember that. Second, you owe Mr. Wright an apology. After all he's done for you, you have some nerve. First, I'm sorry, and second, I'm really just trying to do my job. You'll never get anywhere with that attitude. Take some advice from someone who's been there. Why do I feel like I'm on trial here? Why do I feel like I'm the one on trial here? Name that movie. It's Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Detective Sky, your testimony, if you please. Or if you dare. Alright, the doctor's dark secrets. We're looking into this now. The police have had their eyes on Dr. Buff for some time. And just today, a number of stolen artifacts were discovered in his study. Huh. Yeah, that did seem kind of strange, didn't it? I mean, not so much because he was actually in the town of Karain, so I figured maybe they just moved some stuff to his place or whatever. Among them were a priceless urn and a statue that were stolen from the Fae clan. Yeah, and moved to a house 2 centimeters away from where they lived. It seems that the doctor will do anything to study artifacts, including steal them. As for the relic at the center of this dispute, he likely stole it from the Adishon residence. Well, I mean, I guess the statue was from that village up on the mountain, you know, but the urn was there, was it not? Well, somehow the urn ended up in the museum for a little bit in that one trial. The doctor is a thief? Why am I just hearing about this now? Well, cat burglar isn't something he'd put on his resume. He's more careful than that. But the fact is, he was a classic treasure hunter. A treasure hunter, huh? Well, Locke wouldn't mind you calling him that. Like people who have thrilling adventures and exotic places, risking life and limb for glory? I doubt Mr. Buff was the star of his own hit movie series, Athena. Out of respect for the dead, I will say that Dr. Buff wasn't doing it to get rich. Everybody's voice in here is normal. Anyway, he only wanted to borrow artifacts to study them. He would then return them as soon as his research was finished. According to the doctor's child, he would even repair or restore some of the artifacts he stole before returning them. He believed he was honoring the dead by discovering their history through artifacts. But whatever lofty ideals he held, it makes no difference. Larceny is larceny. I mean, okay. Yeah, alright, yeah, it is. I mean, shit, you can't argue with it, you know? You just can't. So let's say for a moment that the doctor really did moonlight in stealing artifacts. Might he not have stolen the Founder's Orb in Karain and brought it back here himself? I mean, if it's really worth the plane tickets, I suppose. Nope. There was no record of him traveling overseas over the past few years. Plus, he couldn't very well leave his reclusive child at home all alone. And this really must be the Crystal of Ami Fae. What if he sent the child to get it? Maybe the child's not really a recluse. Maybe he hides because he doesn't want anybody to know who he is. And then it would turn out he's like the politician or something. No, not really. Then this really must be the Crystal of Ami Fae. Yes, he stole it from the Adishon residence, probably so he could study it. This is the left hook I did not need. Yeah, ugh. I bet you never saw that coming, Apollo. Never saw it coming. Yeah, when Mr. Wright said the kid gloves were off, he was not kidding. Dude, he ain't even started on you, Apollo. This is round 2 of 15. So, if you want to throw in the towel, now would be the time to do it. Mr. Justice, you may proceed with your cross-examination. Whose cross-examination? I'm so used to him saying, Phoenix, you cross-examine. Oh my god. I've seen those two pairs of eyes up against each other. The doctor's dark secret. Okay. Well, obviously we're gonna just press everything here. I want to milk this case for every last succulent drop that it's worth. The police have had their eyes on Dr. Buff for some time. How exactly did Dr. Buff arouse the suspicion of the police anyway? Chalk it up to good old-fashioned sleuthing. After investigating countless artifact thefts over the past few years, police finally zeroed in on him, and the Doctor became their prime suspect. A number of those artifact thefts occurred in Karain Village too, if I might add. And they started right around the time the Doctor moved there. Ugh. But he was never arrested. I take it there was nothing concrete linking him to a crime? Nope. Which is why we were never able to get a search warrant in the first place. It's hard to arrest artifact thieves unless you catch them red-handed, you know. Still, the police had him under constant surveillance. It wasn't constant enough, apparently. Just today, a number of stolen artifacts were discovered in his study. Alright, just today? Well, yeah, just today, of course. Are you sure these allegedly stolen artifacts are the real deal? They're not fakes, that's for sure. Take the urn, for example. Apparently, it's an extremely intricate work of art. Its design, cracks, and other features would be impossible to replicate perfectly. Actually, I've had a few run-ins with that urn myself. Yes, you have! So I was shocked to see it there in the Doctor's study. I can say without a doubt that that urn was stolen from the fake land. I mean, I get this. You know, it's like, oh. So this is making me feel very much like the bad guy here. Or the prosecutor, as it were. Or just the person who's wrong, you know? Because we've been through all this with Phoenix. We identify with his side of this story so far. Especially with him and Emma being connected as well. It's like, this is what it would be like if Phoenix could run the show, as opposed to getting slammed on or dunked on by whatever prosecutor happens to be there. Among them were a priceless urn and a statue that were stolen from the fake land. Alright. And we know, too, that those did belong to the fake land. Were any other stolen artifacts found besides those belonging to the Fays? Yeah, for instance. Remember the large relief on the wall? It was chiseled out of some ancient ruins in the Kingdom of Karain several years ago. Chiseled out? Yeah. Didn't that damage it? Well, he did restore the parts that were so faded you could barely see them anymore. It seems he intended to return it someday, so one could say his intentions were good. But good intentions are no get-out-of-jail-free card, that's a fact. If I might add, with respect for the deceased, the quality of the restoration was apparently exceptional. Seems the Doctor invested a lot of money in hiring an extremely talented specialist. He sounds like a good man who took a wrong turn somewhere. I guess Sarge takes after him in that way. Any further questions? If not, seems the Doctor would do anything to study artifacts, including steal them.
Hold it!
Keep at it, Apollo. We're doing okay. Had these alleged thefts been going on for some time? Well, they said they started when he moved there. At least 5 years, as far as we can tell. All the recent thefts had been local. But before moving to Karain Village, he had been stealing from ruins around the world. Dr. Buff was an international criminal? This data lends itself to but one conclusion. Dr. Buff was a thief. The thing is, Dr. Buff is not the one on trial here, so... In fact, nobody's really on... Well, Dirk is, but still. As for the relic at the center of this dispute, he likely stole it from the Adishon residence.
Hold it!
Unless that is the Adishon residence, I wouldn't be surprised if his ass lives in some dang cave like that. You claim he stole a family heirloom from the Adishon residence. But claiming something doesn't make it true. Unfortunately, it is true. How can you be so sure? A police report was filed concerning the theft 1 year ago, in fact. 1 year ago? A whole year ago? Okay. August 25th of last year, to be exact. 8:25. The report states, and I quote, "The crystal of Ami-Fae was discovered to be missing from the Adishon storehouse at 10 a.m. The storehouse lock had been picked." Huh. Signed, Paul Adishon Wimperson. Adishon Wimperson. Nice. Well, a year-old report certainly lends the plaintiff's claim credence. The doctor could have really stolen the crystal of Ami Faye. But not only that, Your Honor, but the Founder's Orb was only found to be missing several weeks ago. Oh, that's what you're getting at. That is nearly a year after the crystal's theft was reported. Therefore, I believe we must consider the orb and the crystal to be two separate items. That makes sense. Crap. But okay, so... shit. I wonder if I could go back and look. Paul Adishon Wimperson. Not the most awe-inspiring tail end, is it? I see why he cut it. Not that he inspires confidence without it. Still, I'd probably do the same in his shoes. Robbery report added to the court record. A police report was filed about the crystal's theft a year ago. It's just been right there in the cave, or something? Well, no, because we're saying that that was the Founder's Orb in the cave. How the heck did it even end up over here? I don't even know if I'm asking the right questions here at all. I'm kind of confused. But the theft of the Founder's Orb was only reported a few weeks ago. So the crystal's police report was filed way before the orb was found missing. That suggests the stolen relic is the crystal of Ami Faye, as Mr. Adishon asserts. I doubt the police report is a fake. After all, Emma's the one who submitted it as evidence. Still, I feel like something we learned in that police report is important somehow. Okay, well, let's check it again. A report filed a year ago by one Paul Adishon Wimperson for the theft of the crystal of Ami Faye. Okay, so here he filed the report a year ago. The crystal of Ami Faye was discovered to be missing from the Adishon storehouse at 10 a.m. The storehouse lock had been picked. Okay, so maybe this is like being too nitpicky here, but she says it was stolen from the Adishon residence. Robbery report says it was stolen from the storehouse. Are the storehouse and the residence the same place? Is that even worth trying? Maybe. Objection! I don't know. I wasn't sure there. There's something off about that statement. It seemed perfectly reasonable to me. But I'm fighting Phoenix right here. You're gonna have to give me all the cheat codes you can, Judge, because I have nothing here. Something's definitely not right if you listen really carefully. A gambler once a saying, you've got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em. Oh, I love this one. Know where to walk away, know where to run. I don't know which penalty hurts more, the judges or their singing. Well, I'm glad we got to hear that. Jeez. I actually am. That was pretty funny. Oh, man. Okay. No, we need to look at this a little better here. Hey, Corinne's national treasure. The doctor hid it in the ruins before his untimely death. So he actually did hide it there. But someone wanted him to do research on it. Well, who... Wait. Who was that? That was... Yeah, that was here, wasn't it? Data obtained from the doctor's computer includes a report on research. Yeah, someone was asking him to do research. So he couldn't have... Like, he didn't steal it. Well, did they ask him to steal it and do research on it? Or did they steal it and give it to him so that he could do research? I don't know. So we need to figure out who this PAW 711 is. Oh, God. What is Phoenix's middle name? It's not Anne, is it? Is Phoenix Lady on? Let's try that. Let's see here. Hell yeah. The doctor stole the relic from the plaintiff? Pshaw! Are you sure? Because that statement doesn't agree with a certain piece of evidence. Hello, Phoenix. Here comes your first chink in the armor, baby. What do you mean? Take a look at this. What about it? This contains an email from the doctor's computer. Email? In that little piece of plastic? You're gotta be kidding me. I don't buy this. I'm afraid I don't understand. Well, that's too bad. This stick here can store all sorts of computer data. It could store a whole video if you wanted to. I still don't get it. Here, just look at this. Somebody get a laptop in here. Apparently the doctor was reporting his research findings to a certain individual. It couldn't be Phoenix, though. Now take a look at this. It's the police report Detective Sky presented to this court. You can see the plaintiff's legal name on it. Oh, I didn't even... Oh, nice. Oh, Apollo, you're a fucking genius. You can totally do this now. I know you can. I can see why he dropped Wimperson from his name, but that's hardly breaking news. Look closer, Your Honor. Oh, yeah. Now, what do you think? Right. This is going to be no different than a usual trial for you, Phoenix. Bam. Round 3 of 15. Let's go. Right, the plaintiff's legal name is Paul Addison Wimperson. Now consider this. The email's recipient address starts with 3 letters. Dun 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 dun. PAW. Don't tell me. But I will anyway. The individual who hired the doctor to study the disputed item is none other than Paul Addison Wimperson. Do it again. Wait, then that means... Exactly. He wouldn't have asked the man who stole his family heirloom to study it. Therefore, how could this possibly be the Crystal of Ami Faye? You better back off, you two. We never checked the doctor's emails. You didn't? We couldn't even figure out the password to his computer. The plaintiff willingly left the orb in the doctor's care so he could study it. At the behest of his benefactor. Wait. Then what about the police report? I have all the details of the theft right here. It's probably for another relic. The real Crystal of Ami Faye. He's just using the report as a way to claim that our orb is actually his stolen crystal. Nice. Uh-oh. You know, he's not having it. Man, his arms go all the way across the screen, even though they always did before. It's more apparent here. And how are you so certain the PAW refers to my client's initials? It could be me! Maybe the email's recipient was a dog lover. Oh, because of paw? Yeah. Perhaps. So let's get to know your client a little better, shall we? Mr. Paul Addison Wimperson? Listen to those clicky shoes. How those socks doing? Getting some sweat stains in them? Fair. I suppose shutting down detractors is all part of a politician's job. Yeah, sure is. Answer me this, Mr. Addison Wimperson. What is your shoe size? Speaking of which, I don't think he wears a size 711, although at this point I couldn't be sure. For your birthday, now that, actually. Yeah, let's go with that. What is your birthday? My birthday? It's July 11th. What's it to you? Oh, you fell right into that one, didn't you? Oh, I see. You can address birthday gifts in my office. But full disclosure, I only accept gifts valued at $1,000 or more. You go away. Yeah, Phoenix knows what I just did, and he doesn't like it. He doesn't like it at all! You better call Edgeworth. You need some help, buddy. Why has everyone gone silent? Yep, sorry, my finger grazed the microphone there. Did everyone hear that? He said July 11th. July 11th, or rather, 7/11 matches the numbers in the email address. You think this is still a coincidence? Both the name and birthday are a match. I hardly think that's a coincidence. Damn it. Yeah, I should save after that one, though. Wait! Looks like someone finally decided to join the conversation. Would the plaintiff care to explain? I would like to say that is quite what? Quite a thing you've said. You're dead. I'm dead. Any other thoughts? I sleep with the thought every night. No further comments. I stand by my previous statement. Bye. Yeah, I know. Get his ass back up here. We ain't done with you. You can't just walk away. Even politicians have to explain themselves in a court of law. Most of the time. I'm afraid I simply don't know how it happened. I can't possibly explain matters outside of my purview. Perhaps it was a mistake on the part of my secretary. Oh no, you don't, you slippery eel. Mr. Wright, would you care to respond? Yeah, he's thinking about it. I won't argue your assertion. My client lent the treasure in question to the doctor and asked him to study it. So what? Seems that much is a fact. Now we're getting somewhere. But wait! However, it has no bearing on the issue of ownership. What? How so? Mr. Adishon, I fully understand your position here. You had to hide the fact that you sent the crystal out to be studied. Your family would have been very upset if they'd found out. It's a family heirloom, after all. Yeah. You gotta be kidding me. Mr. Wright is? Well, right, of course. But then he always is. That's why he's my lawyer. The crystal is a precious Adishon family heirloom and has been for centuries. But Dr. Buff was so eager to study its proud heritage, I just couldn't say no. I didn't even tell my grandfather. Well, you ass. But in order to win the backing of your so-called benefactor, you were going to give what you claim to be the Crystal of Ami-Fae to that person. You were going to give a precious family heirloom away just like that. I was going to explain everything to Grandfather later. Honest! Once I became a politician and got really rich, then I could smuggle all this money away. My client's grandfather is very proud of his grandson for following in his footsteps. Is he now? Did he say that to you? And if refusing him would have meant dashing the dreams of his darling grandson, I doubt the kindly old man could have said no. Is it the same guy that was screaming at us to get off his lawn when we were over there? Well, grandchildren are meant to be spoiled. That's what grandfathers are for. Oh wow, I just bought my grandson a Nintendo Switch. And Super Mario Odyssey. He was thrilled. Your Honor, please. I mean, it's been in the family for centuries. My grandfather thinks highly of my talents as a politician. That's why he entrusted me with this very important name placard today. Oh, jeez Louise. Oh my god, you're almost as bad as Red White. Although not quite to that level yet, but you're getting there. So I'm sure he would have been okay with me using the crystal as I saw fit. I just don't think so. Phoenix of all people should know that too, but hey, Grandpa's spoiled little brat. I think the judge is buying it, Apollo. No surprise there, he's always going on about his own grandchild after all. Excuse me, can I leave now, Mr. Wright? I believe my work here is done. I need to go home. By all means, Detective Sky, thank you for your assistance. You're welcome. It's nice to testify at a civil trial once in a while. See you around. It's nice to see you. See ya. Ah, sighs wistfully. Seems the facts have changed somewhat. Mr. A and W here, Root Beer, apparently lent his family heirloom to Dr. Buff. Mr. Justice, how would the defense like to proceed? Oh, we're kind of at a stalemate here, aren't we? So we have to go somewhere else. Apollo, let's hear what they know about this so-called Crystal of Ami-Fae. Maybe we can find some inconsistencies in their statements. Right? Okay then, Mr. Wright. If the item in question really is an Adishon family heirloom, then let's hear all your client knows about it. Yeah. Of course. Mr. Adishon, Mr. A&W Root Beer, please tell the defense every ingredient in your root beer right now. Alright, sure. Listen and learn. Number 1, sugar. Number 2, highly carbonated water. Number 3, chocolate. This is the tale of the Crystal of Ami-Fae and the illustrious history of the Adishon clan. Are you ready for the most riveting story you've ever heard? Our story begins back in the old country when the Adishon family reigned supreme. I noticed I could rearrange the letters in your name to spell no shita. The illustrious history of the Adishon clan. Boy. You could also rearrange them to spell Ashinto. Alright, whatever. My ancestor was praised as a benevolent ruler. He protected the spirit mediums, a minority back then, from the rest of the locals. Some discriminated against them, you see, while others tried to abuse their power. As thanks, Ami Faye gave the crystal she had specially made as a gift to him. I am a descendant of that great lord. As such, my political power and influence is backed by centuries of history. Yeah, well, centuries of revisionist history, maybe. Well, that developed into a great load of self-aggrandizing propaganda fasts. As you can see, the Crystal of Ami Faye is an heirloom of the esteemed House of Adishon. And you have proof that it has always been in the Adishon family? Actually, I do. I have someone who gave a statement to that effect. My client's neighbor, one Ives Shineto, age 85, gave the following statement. 85, man. The Adishons showed me the crystal back when I was but a lad. Objection! What's up? Can we really trust the memory of an old man? Mr. Justice, what are you saying? Are you ageist? Would you care to explain that statement to the judge? Nope, no, back out. I didn't mean, what I'm trying to say is, oh, we just lost right there. Never underestimate the memory of your elders. I may forget my verdicts the next day, but the memories of my past are clear as day. See, I have all of Mega Man 1 memorized, but you give me Mega Man nuts and bolts, and I wouldn't know what the hell I was doing. Therefore, I find Mr. Ives Shineto's statement to be perfectly credible. That has got to be an anagram for something. Wow, did you see how Mr. Wright got the judge on his side? That's definitely a trick I want on my sleeve. Oh, you're not helping, Athena. You may cross-examine the witness, Judge. Mr. Justice, I mean. You're not the judge. You're never going to be a judge. Dude, the hell are you kidding? I can't... Wow, every time these two pop up like this, it's like... I can't believe it's happening. Okay. My ancestor was praised as a benevolent ruler. I mean, I have no doubt, but it just seems weird you're just coming up now. That object you set down there, is it something of importance to you? It's a name placard. This one here belonged to my grandfather, Abraham Adishon. He had it custom made during his distinguished political career. Then I rubbed his name off and put my own name in there. He looks so unsure of himself when he holds it up like this. That's a funny face right there. He's like, yeah, it's totally me. Please believe me. It's special because it was crafted from the finest Italian plastic. I almost forgot to do your voice. But that voice was kind of annoying anyway, so maybe it's not so bad. Wasn't aware the Italians were famous for their fine plastic. You can touch it if you want. Nope, I'm fine. Very well. If I put my fingerprints on it, you'll whack somebody over the head with it and try to frame me, probably. My ancestor was praised as a benevolent ruler, but he was also an eminent politician. So he was a politician as well. He protected the spirit mediums, a minority back then, from the rest of the locals. I do remember, you know, that spirit mediums did get kind of... I don't know if I want to say persecuted, but it seemed like maybe it was something like that. So I take it the relationship with the Fae Clan was a close one. A smooth and open line of communication with my entire electorate. That is the Paul Adishon way. Huh? Oh, sorry. I was asking about your ancestor. Whether it's about me or my ancestor, feel free to ask me anything you'd like. Transparency in government, that's the Paul Adishon way. More like dodging questions, that's the Paul Adishon way. Thanks, I'll be sure to ask when I have something you'll actually answer. Take that as a no. As I was saying, the Adishon family protected the Fae spirit mediums back then. Some discriminated against them, you see, while others tried to abuse their power. Any specific examples here? spirit mediums were targets of discrimination? Yes, some people even treated them like they were monsters. The transformation the mediums underwent when channeling spirits frightened the locals. And then there were those who tried to use them. You mean they sought to control the channeling powers of the mediums? Discriminating against a minority is absolutely despicable. A vote for me is a vote to end discrimination. I vow to root it out wherever it may be. That is my promise to you. I mean, it's a good promise, you know? It's not... Yeah. A moderator who just doesn't speak up unless it's a Democrat speaking. Yeah, and only he cares about his talking points. As thrilling as your campaign is, could we please get back to your testimony? Not your testicles, definitely. Not even gonna make that joke here. As you wish. Now then, as for the crystal of Ami Faye, I'll have you know I ate it. As thanks, Ami Faye gave the crystal she had specially made as a gift to him. Alright, do it. You said she had it made, so then it was made in Japan? That's right. They say she hired a famous craftsman to make it. And they say it's quite valuable, too. And you were going to take such a priceless family heirloom and just give it to your patron. That's so typical of you ignorant common types. Making difficult decisions when the chips are down is what being a politician is all about. But only when it's in service of your own political career, you mean. Oh, I thought Apollo was calling him a mean for a second there. Like, shouldn't that be meanie? But then I realized he was saying you mean. As in, you mean. The crystal is a testament to my ancestors' remarkable achievements. And furthermore... Okay, this guy's like the consonant spiker now. I am a descendant of that great lord. Great lord, my ass. Well, I mean, he probably was, but... So tell me, Mr. A&W Root Beer, are you famous in Karain Village? You could say that, but I find my popularity to be rather bemusing. Bemusing? Yes, my campaign posters keep going missing as soon as I put them up. My avid supporters and female fans are likely taking them home to hang in their bedrooms. Or maybe the judge's kid played too much Super Mario Odyssey and learned a few tricks. I guess ignorance really is bliss. Yeah, think what you want. Heh, all this only proves my fine lineage. I know those girls are... Never mind. As such, my political power and influence is backed by centuries of history. Hold it! Okay, sure, whatever. I'm sorry, but is any of that relevant to the issue of the relic's rightful owner? Oh, that's right, we were talking about that, weren't we? Have you never heard of Kingcraft? What is that, like Minecraft, but the world is made out of crayons? It's the art of ruling as a king. My father drilled it into my head from a young age. And one of its precepts states, ruin awaits a ruler who responds to every single issue posed by the masses. Well, that answered my question about what he meant by king of this nation. Progress. Apollo, who is this Ami Faye anyway? I believe she was the founder of the KCT. Plaintiff claims she had the crystal made for his ancestor. That would mean it was made in Japan, right? Yes, I suppose it would. So is that the angle here? We gotta prove that... Well, let's see. Hang on. To protect the spirit mediums. Someone discriminate against them. Okay, the crystal she had specially made as a gift to him. What does it say in our... Christ's national treasure, the doctor hid in the ruins before his untimely death. I don't see any reason to think it wasn't made in Japan. Well, the fact is, though, if it was made in Japan, then... Huh, okay. Hang on a second, wait. What else did he say after that again? I am a descendant of that great lord, as such my full power and influence is backed by centuries of history. Yeah, I feel like they want me to get this one on something. That's what it feels like, anyway. I don't see anything too unusual here, really. I mean, we presented the research notes last time, right? So... I mean, I guess there have been times when you had to... Research notes themselves. Whoa, whoa, shit! That was it. I was trying to go in and look at the details, and I pressed X. I didn't realize that was going to present it. Holy crap. Oh. Boy, talking about threading the needle. Okay, what? Oh, shit. I wanted to look at that. Can I look at those? Let's just see where they go with this. You stated that Ami Faye had the crystal made for your ancestor. So am I to assume it was made in Japan? That's right. The craftsmanship is unbeatable. Well, shit, son. That's awfully strange, you know, because I don't see how your so-called crystal could have been made there. What are you talking about? Well, here. It's quite obvious if you take a closer look at this. It proves the orb wasn't made in Japan. Well, it has like these Chinese symbols going around the thing here, too. Is that it? I don't know what else it, like... It has to be like a symbol or something, right? That wouldn't be Japanese. Yeah, sure enough. Let's take a look at the distinctive design here. According to Dr. Buff, it's a Mitama motif dating back to the early days of the Kingdom of Khura'in. So it was kind of like the lamp was designed the same way. Kingdom of Khura'in, and you base this on... Here, this piece of evidence, Your Honor. These are the doctor's research notes on the Founder's Orb. Yeah, see, that's like exactly the same. This is the box in which the orb was originally stored. Look at them symbols. Features the same pattern as the one found on the orb. Yeah, and had it circled and everything. They do look like the same pattern. How bizarre. Therefore, I assert that the disputed item must have been made in the Kingdom of Khura'in. Yeah. You better start sweating, boy. You better start.
Objection!
Better start wearing 2 pairs of socks. The old feet's gonna be smelling. Stop with this. The Khura'in channeling technique originated in the Kingdom of Khura'in. And Ami Faye is known to have traveled there to train. So of course she'd be influenced by the blah, blah, blah. With that in mind, what's to say she didn't bring that pattern back with her?
Objection!
That's true. Since this is clearly a Khura'inese design, not even you can deny, Fist, the possibility that it was made there in the Kingdom of Khura'in. Oh, we're having it out now, man. This is Apollo versus Phoenix, round 5. This is the point where like both guys are punching wildly. I don't know when this became a boxing match. Anything's possible to some extent. That doesn't make it true. So you can't conclude that the orb is from Khura'in based solely on that pattern. If it were that simple, I could just as easily say it's Japanese. Shoot. He's a tough one. Phoenix doesn't give up easy. Those prosecutors would have crumbled by now. Mr. Payne would have been halfway across the galaxy by now from the force of the punches that I've delivered. I have to agree with Mr. Wright, the pattern alone proves nothing, yet we expected you to present it. But that also means there's no basis to claim the item in dispute was made in Japan, either. Excuse me. At this rate, we're going nowhere fast. Ark, he's right. We're just spinning our wheels here. I wonder if we have any evidence that could break this stalemate. Evidence that could break this stalemate. Try does not exist for now. I think it might. There doesn't seem to be anything we can use, at least not at this point. Well, unless we can find something, this trial won't be going anywhere. Because if it turns out we do have evidence, then it's just going to lead us back that way anyway, so... Whew, that's much better. Did you break it? What's his deal? I have a suggestion. Why don't we consider this from a different angle? Turn the case around? What if the Defiant Dragons really were authorized to take possession of the relic? Defiant Dragons, you say? I'm afraid I don't know where you're going with this, Mr. Wright. I sure don't either. Nobody said anything about them thus far. Consider the orb transfer agreement, which states, I agree to hand over the Founder's Orb to the Defiant Dragons if I will come to no harm. What if, as the last part suggests, this was written under duress? That would render the agreement null and void. Were you suggesting, Mr. Wright? I knew that was going to come back and bite us in the butt. While you were on your little cave expedition, I was investigating Dr. Buff's accident. And I did a better job than you all have, you know. And there was something you overlooked, Mr. Justice. Namely, that his accident might have actually been murder. What? You don't say. Murder in my Phoenix Wright game? Not a chance.